What's up, guys? Fish Keeper is here, and I'm back with another video. Today we're gonna do a little bit of maintenance on my tank. This is my King's Rock tank. That's what I call it. It's like in Lion King when is that King's Rock where they hold Simba. Anyways, that's kind of like my inspiration for this tank. Although it's all wood, it's not really rock, so it would be King's Rock, more like King's wood. All right, let's not go there. Anyways, so as you can see, it doesn't look as good. It's kind of like messed up a little bit. There's some green algae right there, some in the back, some of my anubias lifted. So the problem with my tank right now is I went on a vacation for 5 days, came back, and just had no interest in like doing maintenance on my tanks when I came back. So nonetheless, it's been about almost 3 weeks since I've done anything to this tank. So it's in dire need of a water change. And this, if you can see here, look at that. Look at all that algae buildup. Just like nasty mold on the glass. So it's in dire needs of some attention, and that's what we're doing today. Now, I'm not actually trying to have a lot of tannins in this tank, but there's a lot of tannins in this tank. And I can show you, because I mean, you can't really see it here that much, because, I mean, I don't know, can you see it? Let's see. Can you see the yellow tint? You can kind of see it in that, just in that right there, you can see how like it's tinty. So yeah, a water change would really work out. Also, I did notice that there is actually more algae than I thought there would be, so I'm going to be using some of this Flourish Excel just to kind of help the algae a little bit, or help with the algae a little bit. All my fast-growing plants, like this what is this called? Super Red Mini or Palistris? I forget which one it was. Oh, I actually have some floating plants over here. And by that, I don't mean like floating plants, I mean plants that are floating, uprooted. All this is really nice, Ludwigia. I want to say it's Super Red Mini, but I don't remember because when I got these, they had no label on them at the fish store. So it's Ludwigia Red. Ludwigia some kind of red. And they're growing great. They don't actually have any algae on them. It's just everything else that's going slower. My Hygrophila 53B, growing great. And the Wisteria, I think it's called right here, doing good. It's just like actually, it's just the Anubias that I have floating around that have some algae in them. Look at that. So I'm going to take these out, we're going to clean them out, put them back in, dose a little bit of the Excel, and go from there. I'm going to rinse this out, my pre-filter, because it's really, yeah, it's full of algae. I need to rinse that out really quick. So the process on cleaning these out, it's pretty simple. All I do is I go run it under some sink water. Now I know, sink water, I get it. But what I do is I rinse it out with sink water, and then I end up, I run it through some just regular distilled water, like just pure like RO water, just to make sure that any chlorine is taken out of there. And then after that, you will probably see me either in the video or later on if I forget, put in a little bit of prime just in case, because yeah, we don't want no chlorine in there. So already it's starting to look a lot better. I do need to remove some of this algae, so I'm gonna get in there and get some of that algae out. I have actually been considering getting some kind of algae eater. I'm not sure what I would go with. I've been doing my research on kind of like 20-gallon kind of algae eaters, and I know auto sinkless do a good job. I just don't want to deal with the whole auto sinkless like syndrome, I call it, where like you get an auto sinkless and auto cat and like it just dies, and you get another one, and and then that one dies, and then you get 4 just in case all of them die or whatever. Then you end up with 2 that live or 3. It just becomes a bigger issue with autos because I guess the way they're collected and stuff. And I don't know if I really want to support that kind of collection. So as far as like how they collect them in the wild. So I was thinking more along the whole pleco area, right? So there's not many plecos that will fit in a 20 gallon or that'll be okay in a 20 gallon. By all means, I mean, this is not a 20 gallon, but let's just say it's 20. It's pretty close to a 20 gallon, so I'm gonna go with that. So what it comes down to is probably like a baby bushy nose pleco. They do the best job, or they're one of the best at doing this kind of like algae control, algae eating. But they will outgrow the tank eventually. I know they grow pretty slow, so I probably would be okay with it. But I have been doing my research on rubber nose plecos, and I think those are the ones to go with. But the problem I've been having is finding them. Normally, I never see them at local fish stores. The only place I would normally see them is at a PetSmart, and well, there's that, buying fish from a PetSmart, you know. So I think I might end up doing that anyways, and I'll just probably call up a different PetSmarts and see, hey, do you guys have any in stock? And I'll probably grab one if they do have one in stock and go from there. If all else fails, I will probably just stick to AutoCats since they do a decent job. I know that there's that shrimp, a mono shrimp, that will do a decent job, but I've had a mono shrimps before, and I don't know what it is, but they don't eat algae, with me at least. They just end up eating food or fighting the neocaradinas I have in here for their food, and it just becomes like it's another fish now, or another shrimp that doesn't really eat algae. So instead, I think I'm going to go strictly with an algae eater, so it's going to be either the AutoCat or the rubber lip pleco. And in worst case scenario, maybe I do find a baby bushy nose pleco somewhere at the local fish store, because I've seen them many times, and I'll just keep it until it gets too big, and I'll, you know, pawn it off to a friend or family who has, you know, I have a family member actually who's starting a giant 40 gallon tank, so that would work out later on in the future if I need to find a place for it. That's where I can go, and they enjoy having you know, run of the like random just fish gifted to them, since they have a decent sized tank they're starting, and they have a few other tanks. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna clean out this Anubias nana I have here. It's not doing very well. It's just, I just broke off one of the leaves. There's just so much algae on it. You know, this is what happens when you leave a tank unattended too long and it's not completely balanced. Now, the reason why this happened is because it's only maybe, I think it just reached a month-ish of maturity, this whole tank. So to leave it at the tail end of that month was not the best idea, but I was going on vacation, so I needed to kind of do that. I thought the best thing I could have done was leave it, let the fish be without food for 5 days. That is what I did. I ended up, actually no, I remember I had a family member that came in on the 3rd day, fed a little bit, and then they took off. So they took a decent break from eating, so I figured that would help so that there's no buildup or anything, but nonetheless it still happened. So here's the Anubias now. I kind of tried to remove some of it, but you know, I still haven't even found a good spot for this guy. So I'm just gonna just set it down right here. I'm just gonna set a rock on it. Boom. Just kind of, sure, that works, that's fine. I really wanted it to be up here, but it's just not staying in there. And with the current, oh, it looks pretty cool actually. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there for now. Let's see. So, all right, let's continue cleaning this up. I am running out of room to replant trimmings. So I don't know, I'm probably gonna be like moving some of the stuff to this tank over here and seeing where that goes. But my plan was to remove the Java fern from down there completely and then replant there. So I don't know, I'll do that right now in a little bit probably. And all right, let's keep going. Yeah, so I'm just putting all the excess plants in this tank right here. There's just neos in there. They're loving it. am running into a problem in this tank, and this happens to a lot of us. Most of the time it's when you're new. It shouldn't be happening to me, but, and let me explain, because it does sound kind of pompous to say that and arrogant, but I kind of did a thing where I was at a fish store before I left on vacation, before I was gone for 2 weeks, before all this maintenance situation, and I was at a local fish store, and I saw this really cool loach, and it was one that I had never seen before. It was like a strange name. I forget what it's called, like Malaysian or like Indonesian something loach, skunk loach, or like drifting loach or something like that. And I thought, wow, it reminds me of like a panda loach. And there it is right there. You can see it flickering, making the shrimp ball get crazy. Actually, I'll put the camera here so in case he comes out, you guys can see him. Let me turn off this light. Can we focus? So when he comes out, you'll see him. He's kind of snake-like, kind of leopard print. Anyways, I got him because they were like, oh, I don't know what it is. I think we think it's the walking loach. I forget what it was called. It's not the common loach that you would find. It's not a clown loach, of course. It's not a yo-yo loach, because I know what that is, and I wouldn't have gone that. But nonetheless, I got kind of I don't know. I did this whole like buying on impulse instead of doing some research. I did some quick like looking up, and it seemed like it was a peaceful fish. And so far, look, it hasn't killed anybody, but it has been pestering a lot of my fish, primarily my cories. And like I said, these skunk cories already seem kind of weakish. I'm not sure if that's the characteristics they carry, the skunk cories, because the stir-by cory, you can see here, is lively, and he will leave a dust trail if he takes off. Versus the skunks, even if they do get like spooked, they still kind of take their time, you know, exiting the scene in a hurry. So anyways, this loach has to come out. He hasn't nipped anybody. He's just kind of aggressive. Maybe not aggressive, dominating. He's more of a dominating kind of fish, and I really think he's bothering my cories a little too much. Every time I see him, he chases somebody. Now he's out right now. He's very wary of me now. He actually could dart away because he sees me. There he is, right bottom half of the screen, trying to get the food that I just dropped. I dropped some flu ball bug bites. It's still staying close to the rocks because it knows. And then look at it. He saw me, and he's considering leaving, and he left. So that's what it looks like. It's really, I mean, I gotta give it to it. It's really nice. I remember now why I bought it to begin with, because it looks awesome. It's an awesome looking fish. But I think that it harasses the cories a little too much for my liking. Again, it's been in there for like 3 weeks or so, and it hasn't killed anybody or anything. But I just don't like the whole like chasing other fish around. Not even my Apisto does that, and I have an Apisto trifasciata in there, a male, and he doesn't even do anything near that. I mean, he doesn't even bother anybody. So to see it bother, to see that loach bother the fish, it bothers me. So I will be trying my hardest to get him out, but I already messed up a good amount of times, and I gave it a chance to really understand how I work. So now it knows if I approach the tank, it knows. See, it just came out. It knows to leave. It knows to disappear because I'm gonna try to grab it. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep updating you guys on that. I'm gonna try to get him out slowly and surely. I will, if I have to. There he is again. If I have to, I will empty this tank out because it's. Look at him, that little B word. I think eventually, sometime this week, I will get him out somehow. I just don't know how I'm gonna get him out right now. I'm gonna hatch a plan. I'm gonna try to get it, and then I'll see what's up. But anyways, right now let's continue with the water changes. Oh man, look at these. These are super healthy. Nice red color to them. Look at that. That's awesome. Yeah, that looks way better. Way better. No more algae, little blooms everywhere. Well, I guess there's still algae in the tank somewhere. So now, I know this tank would still benefit from a decent water change one more time. Just one more water change for the tannins that this giant log is releasing. But I think besides that, I think we're good. I think we're on the right track. The Java moss that I just kind of laid down on the what is this on the wood? Sorry, on the trunks right here. They're attached now. So just with those couple weeks, 3 weeks, they attach themselves already. There's actually some Java moss that, or actually I think this is Christmas moss. Sorry, Christmas moss that went down over here and just attached itself already. So that's good. There's a bunch of Java moss attached everywhere else that I didn't do. I just kind of just let it do its thing. So that's doing great. The plants are doing great. I think overall this tank just needs a little more water changes. Just a few more, just because it just came off of being a new tank. So I should be doing more water changes. So I think I'm gonna do another water change tomorrow. I just need to make more RO water. Once I make more water, RO water, I will get that done. Oh, that's a tongue twister. RO water, RO water. Speech impediment. Anyways, guys, so this is the tank. Awesome little 20-gallon. It's actually more like an 18-gallon. But this is what I got. This is what I look at every morning when I drink my coffee. Love it. That little guy is a jerk. There, you saw that? And my rainbow fish don't seem to mind it anyways. So, alright guys, that's all I got for now. Please comment on this video about anything you want to comment about. Hey, talk about other stuff if you like, no matter what. Or talk about fish. Talk about one time that you bought the wrong fish for your tank. Sorry, before I leave you guys, that loach also is the reason why my baby tears has not attached completely to that lava rock. It was already attached to the dirt and the lava rock, to the sand. But then that little jerk, when I came back from being on vacation, dug under. It literally just uprooted the whole little patch, and I had to start over. And he's doing it again right now. Don't buy a fish on impulse, guys. If you get anything from this video, don't buy fish on impulse. Anyways, all right, guys. Catch you later. Subscribe if you can, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.